I can't hear anything. There's nothing. It's not even like on. Here we go.
Hello, this is Beth.
Hi, Beth.
Hi, Beth. It's
Good
Susie.
afternoon.
Yay. Hi, Chris.
Hi. I think we have Emily on the phone even. She said she had like 5 minutes before she's got to go to work.
Yeah.
All right, Susie, you want to go ahead and get started?
Well, I want to say thank you to everybody who came in today, because I'm impressed that we actually pulled this off. We were talking about doing this and things to do in the future, and just said, let's do it right now for the two candidates that we got going on, and I'm excited. So thank you everybody for showing up. Hi, Juliet. I can't see Beth, but I understand you're on the line somewhere, so yay. And thank you, Chris, for being able to help us with the other candidate, and Jess for helping us. I think you're on Cara's campaign, and you're on, Jess is on Alison Foxall in Florida. So we want to make it so that National Organization of Libertarian Women is here to be able to use as a resource to connect women, to educate women about going into elections and being active, whether it's at your school board in your neighborhood, all the way up to the President of the United States, whatever the case may be. And my tech support is trying to say goodbye. So this is what it's all about, gang. We want to get everybody talking together. We're going to try and do some Zoom conference calls right off the bat. We're going to try and get stuff going for the future, and this should be fun. We're excited. So I want to introduce Jess Mears and Chris Holbrook, and Cara, you're actually a candidate right now. Is that correct? No, you're a candidate.
Emily is. Emily is the candidate.
Emily is the candidate, and you're actually on their campaign team. Is that right?
Yep. I work for the LNC with candidate recruitment.
Ah, okay. We're learning, getting there. Hi, Brian. I see you sneaking in. So anyway, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's here. I know that Kim really wanted to be here. She is our treasurer for the NOLW, and she had a nephew's birthday party today at 2, so she was unable to attend. Kind of got me running in at the last minute because I was off on other kids. And if you hear screaming teenagers in the background, I apologize, but this is our normal game time for kids. So other than that, I'm going to turn the floor over to Jess. And if you see anything that says Turn to Liberty, like I know on my logo it said that, that's actually the people who are paying for today's hosting event. So it's a nonpartisan educational outreach group. And so for right now, they're letting us use their room for free, so we don't have any 45-minute kickoff zones or anything like that that'll boot us out. So hi, Emily, I can see your face now. So for those who haven't used Zoom before, you can use Zoom on your smartphone, you can use Zoom on a laptop, you can use Zoom on your computer. So we're hoping that this will be a great platform for us to go forward in the future. And at some point, we're hoping NOLW will be able to own their own channel. It's only $16 a month, but you'll see fundraising issues coming up, and starting with the national campaign in New Orleans, because we want to start being able to do some of this stuff on our own and pay for it all by ourselves. So Jess, the floor is all yours, sweetie.
Well, Chris mentioned we only have Emily for a couple minutes. Let's go ahead and have Emily say hi to us. And we are recording this so we can share it afterwards, since some people might be watching football or doing something else on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Hi, can you guys see me? I'm having some technical issues trying to connect. So can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to be here. I wanted to thank all you guys for the support. It's overwhelming. I don't know what else to say. Do you have any questions for me, or?
What's the best way that you need support right now on your campaign?
I think the main thing is going to be just getting the word out, and I think we're doing an amazing job as it is right now. So just continuing to do what we're doing, I think we're doing an awesome job.
That's good to hear.
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you, Emily, for taking a few minutes to be with us today. We've got also Cara Schulz on the Zoom conference. Cara is the candidate recruiting specialist for the Libertarian National Committee. Cara, could you give us some highlights on why these couple special elections are a really big deal right now and how this is going to play out for 2018?
Certainly. As with any party, when you have special elections that are coming up, they help you have a barometer for how it's going to go for your candidates in general through the year. And so you take special note of things like, are your activists energized? Are they ready to contribute with time? Are they motivated? Are people willing to donate? Are people already focusing on and talking about the Libertarian Party? Those types of things. So the great news is with both of these special elections, we are seeing a high level of activity from activists and from donors, which is fantastic and is a really good barometer for how 2018 should play out for our candidates. The fact that they were able to get on the ballot, and I know Chris and Jess can speak to the fun of trying to get on the ballot and trying to get information out about your candidate and trying to get donors and all of those things that are specific to their campaign. But this has been really a spectacular sign. The other wonderful thing is sometimes the Libertarian Party gets a knock against it that we're just a boys' club. The fact that we have 2 younger women running for office and they're in their special elections for their state puts a nice kickoff to this campaign season and does help to show that, the face of the Libertarian Party is a lot more diverse than people are thinking in age and in gender. We're also seeing a lot more diversity in socioeconomic status, all of those types of things. So the face of the Libertarian Party is becoming a lot younger, a lot more energetic, and that also is a very good sign for a healthy future for the party. So we're very excited about this on, with the LNC, very excited about the special elections that are coming up and very pleased with how these 2 campaigns are going and the organization that they were able to do for these campaigns. These are not paper tigers.
Thank you, Cara. So let's bring on Chris Holbrook. He is managing Emily's campaign. Chris, could you talk to us some about Emily's campaign and then how activists across the country can help?
I would love to. Thanks, Jess. I'll try and keep it short. I like to talk. I gab quite a bit. But I actually just talked to Emily. She's having technical difficulties. She's on her way to work. That girl is a trooper. She works like 60 to 80 hours a week. She's a nurse at 3 different prison hospitals right now. So it's really, I'm just really thankful I was able to find this woman and she was willing to step forward and do these things for us. She really, to give a little recap, I went through every Libertarian I knew in the district, current, past, national, local, ended up finding her husband who said, oh, he'd be interested, but Emily would be a better choice because she's so passionate about things where the government is intruding on people's lives, making it harder on their personal choices, their pocketbook. And when I talked to her, she first thought it was a joke. She's like, are you pranking me? But it was a huge undertaking to get, we had to get here in Minnesota. There were 3 specific days we're allowed to collect signatures to get on the ballot. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We needed to collect 500 signatures, knocking door to door at nighttime. We had, flashlights on our clipboards. It was, below freezing temperatures. And we ended up getting 600 signatures. 600 signatures. It was really, really kind of an affirmation that this is something that is the right thing to do. And I think the outpouring of support at that time and since then has been phenomenal. Like Emily touched on there, you know, the biggest struggle for us has been getting the word out. And as her friend and campaign manager, and I'm also the chair of the party in Minnesota, I really hadn't planned for step 2 because I didn't even know if we could accomplish step 1, getting that many signatures, getting her on the ballot. So Cara has been invaluable in helping guide and mentor and bring in national resources. Some support has come in financially, volunteer-wise. We have that in our own party as well. But this has really ballooned, and it's happening so fast. This election's in 2 weeks. So Cara also helped find a phone bank captain to help lead the phone calling effort. I've been leading kind of the ground game, the canvassing effort. We've been, you know, we came up with some, I don't know if these will show up. We came up with some different brochures with different talking points for Emily. And we're handing out a different one each weekend. So anyone locally, I mean, tell me this isn't a more fun brochure than this person. I mean, come on, really? Here going forward, any help we can get for phone volunteers, we have a phone bank set up. Please send me an email. I'll get you a login and we'll have Liz contact you and guide you through it. We have 25,000 people who are registered voters. So we have the database from the Secretary of State that we've put into the canvassing app and the call hub center. So we're being very strategic in targeting, obviously, just the registered voters, which is something, someone's having a good time out there. But to wrap it up, it's exciting because we've never done that before here. So like Cara said, it's really giving us a trial and error on how this is actually going to work and the results that are going to come from it. So I just can't thank you all enough. And if I can be of help or answer questions, let me know. Someone's fighting and it's not at my house.
And we've got Michael, if you can hear us, if you can mute your line, it sounds like you guys have a lot going on over there.
Apologies.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about Alison Foxall. She is running for State House in Florida in District 72. She's running in a special election. The representative that was in the seat resigned due to family and business was overwhelming. So she was not able to keep up with her responsibilities as a State House representative. This kind of created an interesting scenario in Alison's district. Alison is a longtime activist with the Libertarian Party of Florida. She's known and has a great reputation throughout our state party for being a very hard worker. On the Gary Johnson campaign, she was asked to help out and ended up becoming staff with the Gary Johnson campaign and leading some of our targeted states into the final weeks and months of the election. So Alison has been someone who's, when needed, steps up and fills a void and does a very good job. She is a graphic designer and a website developer. Along with her fiance, they have a consulting business. So Alison's been thinking about becoming a candidate for a long time, but didn't know when the right time would be. And so this special election kind of just popped up, and she asked some friends in the party if she should go for it, and all of us told her, of course. When we said that, we didn't realize that we would be spending so much time helping her, but it's been a really long process, but it's been very rewarding. This started back in September. It's now almost February of 2018. So it's been a long ride for us compared to Emily's campaign, which has been a very short turnaround time. But that has given us a lot of time to put together a team and do a lot of fundraising and get a lot of resources together and have a plan to succeed. So we also got on the ballot by petition. We did that right after a hurricane. Our team, most of us didn't have power while we were out canvassing and getting signatures gathered. We were knocking on doors of people who still were without power and were like using chainsaws to take trees down that had knocked over. I mean, so crazy stuff. You guys had snow, we had a hurricane, difficult times all around. But so the campaign has formed very nicely. We've got yard signs all over town. We have 4-foot by 6-foot yard signs that look really awesome when you're driving through. Compared to the Republican and the Democrat, the presentation is phenomenal. Alison is a professional graphic designer, so her campaign just looks amazing. We have been included in panels and debates. So Alison's going to be debating live on TV on January 30th. I hope you'll join. That's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and we will be advertising that all over as well, so that way you can watch online as well. We've really made this a national campaign because it's a special campaign, so it's much earlier. I know a lot of 2018 campaigns are kicking off right now, but with our election coming up February 13th, it's coming so soon, but we've really tried to bring a lot of attention and awareness since this is kind of really a little bit before those 2018 campaigns are well underway. So what we need now is help from libertarians across the nation. Libertarians across the nation have donated and funded to this campaign. They have been phenomenal with donating. Alison's campaign has broken fundraising records for the state party for libertarians. She's outraised state Senate, state House, and now all of the federal libertarian races in prior years. So it's made some incredible benchmarks and set the bar even higher. And now we're trying to set the bar even higher by bringing in a record vote total on election day. But there's a few problems. Voters, not all of them know that this election's happening. It's a special election. So the vote totals are going to be way lower from a general election, way lower than a presidential year, way lower than a midterm year. So that gives us this incredible opportunity to pull resources together across the country and really impact these races. So that's why we're spending this time on Emily and Alison in these special elections. If we can get libertarians, 100 libertarians together could really make a huge difference in these elections. And the way they can do that is by not even leaving their own homes. It's by picking up the phone and doing some phone banking for a couple hours a night, maybe a couple hours a week, whatever it is that fits in your schedule. But phone banking is so crucial. Talking to voters, finding out what are their concerns, letting them know that this candidate's in the race. A lot of people don't even know the race is happening. So we just have to educate them and give them the information. And then that will really see on election day, and we'll see the results. And if we want to see libertarians win, we have to help them. We can't just say we want libertarians to win elections and not do anything. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do something. We're trying to change it and really bring in some amazing results on election day. Emily's is February 12th. Alison's is February 13th. So I'm just going to show you real quick on the screen how you can sign up to volunteer for Alison's campaign. I'm going to go ahead and click the share screen button. And all right, 1 second. So this is Alison's website. I have gone to, let's go to the home page. Here's Alison's website. You can click this button, volunteer. You can read the instructions, but you just sign up here. And how will you help get Alison elected? Click phone banking, submit. And once you do that, you're going to get an email in your inbox with the instructions to get started right away. We do have a phone banking coordinator that if you have any problems, he will help you. His name's Josh. Sometimes phone banking can be a little technical and difficult. I will admit I had some issues with it when I first tried, but it's not too difficult once you get going. I made 51 calls in 35 minutes. And I had conversations. One conversation was maybe 5 or 6 minutes long. So I did have some conversations during that time. And anytime that somebody doesn't answer, it then will leave them a voicemail. So it's almost like you're paying for a robo-dial, but you're not because it's part of the phone banking system. So I guess that's what I'm asking you all to do is to learn how to phone bank. If you've never done it before, it's okay. It's time. Now's the time to get started with learning how to do it. If you are a candidate that is running yourself in 2018, it's too early probably to be phone banking to just general voters. Obviously, you should be calling Libertarians in the area and getting them involved with your campaign. But now's a really good time to learn how to use these systems. Alison is using CallFire, and Emily is using CallHub.
Yes.
So these are two systems that if you are a candidate yourself, you could be using these later on in your election cycle. So it's a great opportunity to learn how to use it, also get more comfortable talking to voters on the phone. And what a great way to help the Libertarian Party other than being a candidate yourself and helping another candidate. So if you have a team that's going to be helping you, it'd be a great time to get them trained on phone banking by helping candidates. So I'm asking Libertarian activists, Libertarian volunteers, Libertarian donors, Libertarian candidates, Libertarian candidate teams. I'm asking everybody to try phone banking for as little or as much as you can up until the election days for these two candidates.
Yeah, and Jess, you bring up such a wonderful point on this, and one of the big values of special elections. So if you are a candidate or a candidate team and you are getting ready for your run in 2018, these two campaign teams are testing out every strategy you are going to want to employ. So if you are looking at doing phone banking, and you should be, you can actually volunteer for both campaigns, and you can actually test out both systems, see which system your team likes the best, see the scripts, get some interaction with voters, see how that goes. So you can use this as a way to start to fine-tune and hone your campaign and be prepared, and also help two candidates that are running right now. And I know that both candidates are also testing out other strategies, and I'm sure once they get the campaign results, both teams will be writing up what worked, what didn't, what they would have preferred to have, and they'll be happy to share it with other candidates. But there's always reciprocation. So, you know, if those campaigns are willing to be fantastic and share that information with you, you be fantastic and hop on the phone for a few hours.
Great. Thank you so much, everybody, for being on this call today. Does anybody have any questions for Cara, Susan, Chris, or myself?
Hey, this is Beth, and I don't have any questions, but I do have a comment. As someone who has spent many years making phone calls on behalf of candidates, not in the Libertarian Party, but in prior years before I was Libertarian, nothing gets those votes out like getting on that phone even the day before election or even the day of election and reminding people to go vote. So I'll be reaching out to get the information to help y'all with that. And I can't stress enough how effective that is, because I've seen it. So I'm going to try to reach out to some other folks and get some people on board to help out with that. It's a great idea.
Hello, this is Michael Sweeney. Can you hear me?
Hi, Michael.
Hi. So I know that you mentioned the robocalling, and obviously it's preferred both from a social perspective and a legal perspective to have real people calling. But has there been any thought put into doing a broadcast survey, like phone broadcast survey, either immediately before or after the debates, to see where they stand, and also give us an opportunity to have really good press release information? If you could do a push poll that would then sandwich, you know, the candidates in between, saying if the election's tomorrow, how would you feel? You do one before the debate, you don't want to do one after, you see how the numbers move. We have been working with Michelle Darnell out of Washington State, and we're using Twilio as our back end. We have very successful, very low cost. We were able to reach out to about 8,000 people for less than $100. I did the math. We can contact 20,000 people for about $250, as long as the whole survey is kept down to less than a minute, which is actually really easy. I also have some voice talent that'd be happy to volunteer their time. Has there been any thought on that?
What was that company?
So we're using Twilio.com. They do, they're a bulk communications platform. So they're a third party. I use my contacts helper to line everything up, pull from the contact database, line up the audio, do the outbound call, and then Twilio actually makes the connection.
We haven't considered it for Allison's campaign, but I will discuss it with the campaign right after this conference.
And Michael, I'll probably be getting with you and Michelle's campaign to get more information about this so that I can put it on a sheet of resources for other candidates as well. I know that Emily's hasn't looked at this, but what they have looked at and are getting underway is it's a recorded voicemail. It is for cell phones. It does not ring the phone. It is a computer to computer or server to server transfer. So it bypasses the robocall laws on having to have a human dial first and that type of thing. So it is a direct system that will do that, and it will leave those messages on cell phones for about 6 cents per call. So if you have a list, they'll scrub off the landlines first and then be able to do the direct to the voicemail on the cell phone for that. So I know that is one strategy that they've been looking at employing, and we'll be getting information out about that.
What is, if I can ask Cara, what is the ideal timing for that to be left in someone's voicemail?
It depends on what you're using it for. If you are using it for get out the vote, of course, that's, you start it 3 days before the election. However, you're looking at first contact, so that's as soon as possible for this special election. But really, you don't want to go any earlier than 1 month before election date. And Chris, could you say how volunteers, if people want to volunteer for Emily's and do phone banking, how would they get a hold of you to get that arranged?
Yeah, if anyone or anyone, please just email me. It's on our website. We don't have a real fancy website like Allison does. I wish we did, but this was all put together on a shoestring budget in about 7 to 10 days. So lpmn.org or emilymelligen.wordpress.com. Or our Facebook page. They all have links with my information on it, chris.holbrook@lpmn.org. And then I will respond with the instructions, the login. Everything is programmed just like Jess was talking about on hers with a script and a message. We just don't have a nicely designed portal that I can share the screen on. That's like over my head at this point. But that's the biggest need we have right now are people to phone bank. And my personal struggle is how do we find more people to help us? I wish there was a bigger network, and this might be the start of it. We have several people now, half dozen or so, but when Jess says, be great to have 100 libertarians take action, that's where my mind is like, how do you get those 100 people to help? I mean, we got 2 weeks left, and that would just be a game changer. So I know we're all learning, but that's priority number one and question number one. And I think, like someone on here said that nothing has more impact than an actual voice, a phone call, a message. So that's it.
Okay. Oh, Susie, you are muted.
I unmuted myself and muted me back. Sorry. So I think what Cara was saying earlier with having a list of resources is super, super critical. We've been starting that here locally in our our region in Central Florida area, and just talking to people as campaigns end with what would you have done differently? What do you wish you knew? What do you wish your candidate knew before they ran? What kind of resources made a viable candidate so that we could win? I think Jess touched on something really critical for the Libertarian Party, which is taking advantage of these special elections. I know we just finished one here in Hillsborough County, Florida, that we did not win, but if we had 100 people making phone calls or knocking on doors, we could have won. It was something that, because it was a special election, the reality is what Jess said is true. People don't know what's happening. So all of a sudden, in our district for the state, we're talking motivating 6,000 votes blew the election out of the water. I mean, that's something Libertarians can do. So I don't know about other states. In our area, people are jumping out of the main parties. So a third of the people in our area, in our state, are not Democrat or Republican. So these are elections we can win by motivating those voters if we can get trained people ready to act. And so I think having a list of resources, hopefully the NOLW starting these type of conference calls, getting people connected and building relationships. I'm obviously older than Jess. Jess is actually younger than my baby daughter, but something to keep in mind that I would say from my older perspective is that in the world of smartphones and robocalls, we've lost that personal connection. And for the same reason, I might say, I'll go out and walk at 7 in the morning. I might blow it off in the morning. But with Jess there, if I told my friend Jess, hey, Jess, I'll meet you at the pier at 7 o'clock. Let's walk the beach. I'm not going to blow off my friend Jess. And in the smartphone world, in the Facebook world, without the relationships, we tend to blow people off. So I think a lot of times it's just a matter of taking that extra moment to build a relationship with who we're talking about, having a place of resources and training. We've started putting stuff on a private YouTube channel that we can share the link to our activists, but if it's not just something public people are going to see. And it's stupid videos, like how to stuff a bag of things that we're going to leave on the front door, because in Florida it's rainy season. And those videos aren't special. They're not, they're me in my sweatpants in the dining room showing you how I'm stuffing a plastic bag. But this is what we need to be able to do to take the fear away from our new activists, our new volunteers, to say, see, you don't have to do anything special. You can do it in your living room, in your pajamas. I don't care. Do it watching cartoons with your kids. These are things we can do and resources we can have. So I think that's probably critical. I do want to thank both Jess and Chris and Cara. You guys, things like these conference calls can't happen without people like you wanting to help and jump in and be willing to share and to field questions and to take the time out on a Sunday afternoon to do this. So I appreciate you guys all showing up and being here for others. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you to the National Organization of Libertarian Women for helping our candidates. All right, well, any final thoughts from Chris and Cara before we end the call?
No, I'll just say thank you, Jess. You've been very proactive and energetic and optimistic, and it's a joy. So thank you for putting this all together, giving me renewed hope in the purpose of the National Libertarian Organization. So good stuff.
All right, any final thoughts, Cara?
If anyone out there is thinking about running, of course, contact me. We do have informational resources for you that, we're getting out after these 2 campaigns end. Of course, like every campaign that I've seen, I'm going to be mining them for information on, what works and what doesn't. But what we need to do as libertarians is, we don't have a huge concentration of activists in any one place. So what we do need to do is we need to start using our resources more effectively. And that means that activists who are on the ground in an area, those are your door knockers. But the rest of us, what we can do is we can start to throw our weight in larger groups through phone banking and other activities like that we can do from anywhere. And, you can work on, as a phone banker, you can work on several campaigns at a time and, put that effort forth. So we could have like roving groups of libertarian phone bankers that are working from campaign to campaign to campaign and leaving those local resources that need to be on the ground to do what they need to do, which is to knock on doors and do in-person engagement. So we need to get more effective at this, but that means that we need people to step up and actually do this.
Let's go win some elections.
Hell yes.
Okay, go team, go.
All right, well, have a good night or afternoon, and thanks again, everybody. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Beth.
Thank you. I will try and get the recording downloaded and whatever I did so I can send you guys all links so that you guys can share it on your ends too. Okay?
Thank you.
Awesome. Taxation is
Thanks,
theft.
everyone.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.